Hey you guys, what is up? How's it going? Logical Gaming here, and I am back finally. It's been like 2 whole weeks, almost, not quite. And yeah, I got my surgery, and I just haven't had any energy or motivation or anything. It hurts so bad. I'll put some pictures up of my wrist. Maybe not my wrist, because that's a little bit gross, but I'll show some x-rays. I have these 3 huge pins that are going into my wrist bone. So it does not feel good, and I have to do everything one-handed, so that makes Project Spark a little bit harder. And so I started a new project. I've been playing a lot of Age of Empires. If you don't know what that is, check it out. It's a super fun real-time strategy game. So I decided to start making it in Project Spark. And yeah, I just have a few basic things at the moment, and I'll show them off. So we'll just go in. I have this camera where if I move the mouse toward the edges, it moves, just like a lot of strategy games. And I think I'm going to change the camera angle so it's a little bit sideways, so you can have some depth perception. But if I click on this, you click on it, and then you have these 2 guys in the bottom left, and if you move your mouse over them, they'll get the green box around them. And then if you click one, bam, it creates it. And then if you click off, it'll cancel out whatever object you're selecting. And a tricky thing is I made it so if you click here, it won't, because usually it thinks you're just going to be clicking on the ground right down here. And so I have a thing where if I'm over a selection, the camera won't move, and it won't cancel out whatever object you're clicking on. So that's cool. And so if we click on an object that we've made, I can right click and it'll walk wherever I tell it to, and you can even hold it down. And yeah, so now let's go into the brains and look at how I did all of this. The first thing I'm going to go over is how I made the menu when you click on the barracks. So if you go into the brain, it says when left mouse button me, and so that's how you command it, like, so if it clicks on me. I didn't know that before, and so I figured that out. Then it sets the object variable, selected object, equal to me, and then when that happens, it'll switch to the next page. And this next page, oh wow, it just scrolled all the way bottom because the scroll bar is retarded. So it'll highlight itself and display the fighter on this vector option A, and the option A vector is over 0.9 and down 0.9, so at the very bottom left, and then option B is over 0.7 and down 0.7. And also down 0.9. And so this is saying when the mouse position X is less than the option B's X plus 1. So the option B's X plus 1 is 0.8. Or no, sorry, it is 0.6 because it's a negative 0.7. So we add 1 to that, and then it becomes 0.6. My mouse is like kind of demonstrating where it is on the menu screen once you do it. And so when it's less than the 0.6, so that's right here. So if it's less than that, and if it's greater than option B's X minus 0.1, which is 0.8, so it's from 0.8 to 0.6 if my mouse is in that range, and then also less than the Y plus 0.2, so it makes a little rectangle, if you can envision it. Then if all those things are met, it'll display the cube green, and then if I click the left mouse button when I'm in that range, it'll create the object. Man, this scroll bar does all kinds of crazy stuff. So hopefully that made sense. It basically is just telling it if the mouse position is in this very specific area, it'll be able to create the object if you click. And if you notice, all of these things, if even just one of these is true, I have this boolean over selection equals false, and that is how I make sure that, so if over selection is true, then if I click, it won't like exit the object, or also if over selection is true, then the screen won't move. So we'll go over the screen moving also now. Okay, so it took me a really long time to figure out how I could make the screen move. At first I was trying to have like an object follow the mouse cursor and then that would move the screen. But I figured out a much simpler way. So I take this logic cube and I put it in first person, looking straight down at the ground. And then all it does is, this is like what I was just saying. If over selection equals to true, then it won't do any of this other stuff. Excuse me. So if the X mouse position is greater than 0.95, so if it's way over here to the right, it'll move east with strafing at speed, the top speed, which is 4. So it'll move 4 times faster than normal. So that's pretty fast. And then I even added another slower speed if it's only at 0.8, which is about like right here. And so that'll move at the slow speed, which is just 1. And I do the same thing with all the sides of the screen. And it ended up working pretty well. Yeah, I'll just hop in and show you again. So if we go right here, it'll go slow, and then if we go to the edge, it'll go a lot faster. And it really does work. The only problem is like Windows 8, if I go up to the top corner, it'll open up this menu, and there's just a lot of annoying stuff like that. Oh look, there's my voice. You can see it recording. How nice. I don't even know if you guys can see that in the video. It's pretty tiny. So that is all there is to the screen. You guys can feel free to implement that in any of your games. It's pretty straightforward, but I don't know. It took me a while to figure that out. Now we'll go into the soldier, which is the only unit I've made so far that works. And his brain is pretty simple. The same thing where if I click on him, the selected unit equals him, and then it'll switch to the next page. And it'll highlight himself. And this is the movement. It is a super simple line of code, and it works. Because of this tile right here that I had never seen before I tried to figure this out. Which I could have used this after, in a bunch of other stuff, because it keeps track of the right mouse world position as a vector in the world, like a 3D vector instead of just 2D. Because if you just say right mouse position, or just mouse position, that's just for the interface position, but you need the world position. So after I press the right mouse button, it'll just move toward wherever the right mouse world position is when I press the button. And yeah, that totally works. That's all his brain is. I'll have more brain, so if he like bumps an object, he'll attack it, or if I right click on an object, it'll set that as the enemy. And yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I can work on this, and I'll be working on this a ton. I think it'll be a few videos. Tell me if you think it is a good idea, if you liked it so far. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love all the support in the surgery. Sorry it's taken me so long to make a video, but I should be more frequent now. The pain's not too bad. I can concentrate a little bit. I'm actually getting sick, if you can't tell from my stuffy nose. So yeah, everything's just adding up. Life's crazy, but this is fun. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.